Thank you for inviting me today. I would like to talk a little bit about the piece which I saw inside the Palazzo Enciclopedico in the Arsenal. Well, first, let's say that I consider for a while that Tino's work is the most important statement into artwork of the last decade. And once again, I can confirm, yeah, definitely. And once again, I can confirm and I can try to explain it a little bit why I consider it. Let's say also something. I've been surprised by Tino's work in this exhibition. Well, let's say that I consider such an exhibition that a very bizarre object, not only because of the subject itself, but because of the display and the strange connection between most of the pieces. But anyway, it's not the subject. Let's say that I do not see any link between Tino's work, between the project itself, Il Palazzo Enciclopedico, and Tino's work. Another point, let's say that Tino's work is always about constructing a situation which by itself looks as a statement which catches your attention. It makes sense in such a disorder to be catched by one specific piece. And it seems to me that it's maybe one part of Tino's potential wishes. It's quite a lot of problems to be part of what we call a group show. Let's say that Tino's resists, if I can use such a word, to the extreme confusion which comes both from the exhibition itself and from the confusion of most of the visitors who look totally lost in the middle of the project itself. So at point, let's say that in such a confusion, Tino's work looks definitely the only one, I would say the only one, which brings us in presentness and brings back the exhibition itself in a contemporary, let's say contemporary, statement. Let's say that this dialogue between the two people contradicts the dialogue and the context in which such a global exhibition brings most of the visitors. Bringing back face to face, as you see, this dialogue between the two people is also referring and thinking about some kinds of paintings like Manet, and in different kinds of other situations, in Tiziano, concert champêtre, and whatever. There's always some links into Tino's work, this history of art. Versus such a massification of culture became to me as one part of the statement. I like to say that the discussion between the two people in the middle of all the other people around looks to me as a strong opposition between art itself and culture. On one side, the public, the group, the noise, and as an idea of collective experience, which I will call or define as the experience of culture in the age of massification. It's maybe definitely the subject of such great collective exhibition. On the other hand, two people in dialogue, which both together establishes like a conversation, which definitely catches the attention and keeps its own distance with the visitors themselves. There is always a strange dialectic into Tino's work between the people around and between the construction of the piece itself. On one side, talking which looks lost totally lost in a ritual of the visit, and the other, another ritual, talking which Tino's actors who maintains or brings back in another dimension, which I would call a piece of art. Art as constructing a distance between the flux of the everyday life, art as suspending the experience of time into another dimension, art as constructing a formal situation in the middle of an informal chaos, art which activates the question of art itself, its signification, its investigations, its possibilities. Once again, to conclude, it reminds me the famous quotation of Jean-Luc Godard. Que veut l'art? What art wants to get? Everything. Que peut l'art? What art can do? Nothing. Que fait l'art? What art is doing something. Thank you.